Mikayla Bode. Senior Division, Individual Performance. We are not by ourselves anymore. China's failed stand against British opium. From the 1600s to the 1840s, China and Britain were both economically independent from each other. The imperialist Britain was seeking to open trade routes with previously isolated China. China restricted trade with Britain because they did not find a need for any of Britain's goods, except for silver. You see, during the 1750s, Britain was a mercantilist country. This implies that their goal was to make other countries dependent on their trade as a means of enriching themselves. For Britain, this meant silver, and they obtained it through the East India Company. For Britain, silver wasn't just about wealth, it was about power. In response, Britain introduced the opium trade into the port of Canton in 1757 because they did not have any other stable supply of silver with which to pay the Chinese. Heavy bans and taxes were placed on the opium to slow the trade down, but still managed to trickle in through the ports by smuggling operations. In 1799, Emperor Chiefgong took a stand against the British trading monopoly by banning all trade of opium in China. This ban failed. In 1838, the destruction of 11,000 crates of opium led to the First and Second Opium Wars, the concession of the island of Hong Kong, and reparations paid to several countries. Because of the loss of both wars, China's economy suffered because they could not keep up with the trade demands of the West. Because of Western influence, this led to the failure of the Chinese imperial government.
A letter from Emperor Qinglong. I cannot believe this. They do not want any of our goods. All they want is our silver. I cannot give them that. We do not have any. Well, we do not have any to give them. We do not have a stable supply of silver with which to give them. I sent Macartney as an emissary to establish a trade relationship, and he was the best representative I had. Your England is not the only trading at Canton. If other nations following your bad example wrongfully importune my ear with further impossible requests, how will it be possible to treat them with easy indulgence? Nevertheless, I do not forget the lonely remoteness of your island, cut off from the rest of the world by intervening wastes of sea, nor do I overlook your excusable ignorance of the usages of our celestial empire. Unbelievable! Island of Chusan denied, place for merchants, arm and good, worship of the Heavenly Father only amongst Europeans. If, after the receipt of this explicit decree, you would lightly give ear to the representations of your subordinates and allow your barbarian merchants to proceed through Chiakeng and Tientsin with the object of landing and trading there, the ordinances of my celestial empire are strict in the extreme, and local officials, both civil and military, are bound reverently to obey the law of the land. Should your vessels touch the shore, your merchants will assuredly never be permitted to land or reside there, but will be subject to instant expulsion. I still want opium being shipped from Bengal to Canton. I don't know how. Figure it out. It's 1799, and the emperor took a stand against us and put another ban on opium. There were multiple bans before this. It's not going to last. We'll be executed if we land. Arrested? I got a shipment of opium to drop off. What are we going to do now? We're going to have to hide it really well in order to get through. We might even have to employ the Chinese. There's always money in that. Well, our next port is Bombay. We'll have to pick up our next shipment there and hide it with silver crates. That will sure get past them. I do not care if we might get killed. I got a lot of opium to drop off, and I got a boss to please. The East India Company, boss. It is 1838, and we have won both wars against the Chinese. We sent a fleet of ships to the port of Canton to forcefully open the heavy blockade that was placed by Lin Zexu. It was a pathetic loss, really. I suffered no losses, and the Chinese lost 500 men the first day. I demanded 4 ports of trade to be opened at the Treaty of Nanking in 1842. And after the victory of the Second Opium War, with the help of France, we demanded reparations paid in silver, which they will right here, and permanent residence in China at the Treaty of Chichen in 1858. I have no intentions of stopping the opium being sold in China. This is the beginning of a brand new world. It is now 1860, and trade has increased. Trade has increased by 500% after the Treaty of Chichen in 1856. Numerous ports have been opened for trade, and the tea and silk exports have increased by, 500%. Because of these reparations we had to pay in silver, we had to convert to paper money because of the drastic silver shortage. Our textile export decreased because we could simply not keep up with the manufactured textiles of the West. The British flag flies very, very, very high in Hong Kong. And it is now property of the British. Hong Kong is a rich and prosperous country, thanks to the British, who have based their trading companies there. Without this intrusion of the West, we would have never been able to reach such prosperity, but yet fall so low. Because of this failed opium ban, we are not by ourselves anymore. Thank you.